Okay. Yeah, I've seen this about the Camp Lejeune water contamination settlement in my local paper. I couldn't buy one. I didn't have the money to buy one paper, but that's what online newspapers are for. So this is just because I know it would take longer than 15 minutes for my screencast, so that's why I'm doing it like this. So just a minute here. I mean, it's more than it's more, it's about more than just the water that I'm going, it led me to something else too. So, of course, it always does. And it's probably deeper than that, I just wanted to get this out there while it was fresh in my mind here. So, and probably do more on it later. Not today, but you know what I'm saying. It's early, I know, for some of you. So I was up early this morning. So cat. Anyway. I'm waiting for my YouTube to catch up so I can pause it and not have to worry about back and forth stuff. So links that I go over will be below. You can look for yourself and stuff. So goddamn, it's taking forever. Any day now, YouTube. Okay, there. Finally. Okay. Here we go. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Here we go. Veteran Service Officer 6, those stationed at Camp Lejeune from 1953 to 87. As you know, that's, the largest one here in the country, manpower-wise. We had a lot of drug busts and murders and stuff, so, yay. Okay, anyway, back to this. If you are a veteran who was stationed at Lejeune from 53 to 87, you might be entitled to compensation from the federal government due to the contaminated drinking water that was located there. They hope people who are eligible for the compensation, if you're still alive, that is, because there's 8 diseases associated with the exposure to contaminants in the water supply at the marine base. I couldn't find what the contaminants were, but here's the diseases: adult leukemia, aplastic anemia, and other, I can't even pronounce that, syndromes, bladder cancer, kidney cancer, liver cancer, multiple myeloma, non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, Parkinson's disease. And that lady that I met in town that day, she had bladder cancer. So would be curious to find out if her and her husband were stationed there around that time. It wouldn't be surprised if they were. It says beginning in March, the cash payouts for the Department of Veteran Affairs may supplement VA health care already being provided to eligible veterans. They'll have to submit evidence of their diagnosis, of course. So now they want to take care of them when they have been ignoring them. It was discovered in the early 80s that 2 home-based water supply systems were contaminated, and they were shut down in 1985. But they're only now doing something about it. see, in the past, veterans had to show that he or she lived in a specific area to get assistance from the VA. The same applies to surviving families. You know, if you survive these illnesses, which, you know, the way they treat the cancers and stuff, you know, yeah, most likely most of them are not around to get a payout. Maybe that's why they waited so fucking long to do this. The requirement's gone. The area now covers all of Camp Lejeune and the Marine Base. Oops, I'm sorry, Marine Corps Air Station, New River, as well as satellite camps and housing areas. So you know that obviously that was contaminated. The ones on down were contaminated as well. The military training base in Jacksonville, NC, covers 246 square miles. Anyone who lived or worked at the Marine base and those surrounding areas for a minimum of 30 cumulative days between those times are eligible. Likewise, the surviving spouse is eligible as well, providing their late husband or wife met the previous criteria and died or suffered from the 8 listed conditions above. See, they're counting on these people to not be alive, a lot of them. But now it said 900,000 people nationwide are eligible. You know, so and there's 3,600 here. And there's not a breakdown regarding branches of service. All of them here in my area there. When this guy took this job 3.5 years ago, the claims were running 12 to 18 months. He said adding this was the time for application processing and approval, so it takes that long to get approval. Nice people of backlog. He's already had 3 claims in a week. And yeah, he announced a third government hiring freeze. So he could be doing this alone. So he's not going to have no help doing this. So documents uncovered by veteran groups over the years suggest Marine leaders were slow to respond when tests first found evidence of contaminated groundwater at Camp Lejeune in the early 80s. Some drinking water wells were closed in 84 and 85 after further testing confirmed contamination from leaking fuel tanks. So it was fuel leaking and dry cleaners, chemicals. The contamination was unintentional. You see, they knew it was happening, you know, and they didn't, you know, tell these people about it, you know, until now, you know. See, look at this. Look at this. This man says this is good news. His daughter, Janie, was born in 1976 while he was stationed at Lejeune. She died from leukemia at age 9. You know, so he lost his daughter for that. Yeah. So it's just telling you how to get in contact with them and get compensation, but you can't compensate it. Somebody that's died, you know, that's here. That is from PBS, the 13th. This was from yesterday's news. And 17 hours ago said the pay billions to Marines affected by contaminated drinking water. That's $2 billion. Like I said, in March, they'll start paying it out. It's over a 5-year period. And there's this again about the man who lost his little girl from leukemia because of this shit. See, and they didn't say nothing about it. The new rule announced, there's more about the new rule announced Friday, covers active duty, reserve, and National Guard members who develop those diseases. It's just saying more of what the other said. So it's expanded the coverage there. It says 1,400 disability claims related to Lejeune are already pending and will be reviewed immediately, according to the VA. So we'll see. Oh, what's that? Oh boy, more fear, more fear. Be afraid of a new superbug. Oh my God. Oh. Anyway, this family here is speaking out about it. And they're able to voice their concerns and stuff at a meeting there. His wife died from one of the diseases. He thinks back to him being sick, his wife being sick. They didn't think it would be terminal. You know, you got fuel and dry cleaning chemicals going into your water and you're drinking it and shit. Yeah. But see, they didn't know that. These people didn't know that. So, like I said, you know, a lot of them's probably already dead, you know, so who knows how big the number would be if they'd have done this sooner, you know. So, and here's this here. I'll leave this stuff below. This is a marine. It's a site, you know, where they put all the stuff about it. There, I don't have a date on it or nothing. I found this in the search. See, it's showing where Midway is the distribution point and stuff. So my phone is ringing. I'll call you back. Okay. Oh shit! Give me a second here. Okay. Sorry about that. Oh shit. It happens. And where was I? Okay. Here we go. Back to this. Okay. Yeah. This is, you know, that I can look at that here in a minute. Let's see, there's that man and his daughter there. There's the chemicals that were in the water. I can't even pronounce these, a lot of them. So, you know, there you go. Carcinogens. And here's the liver cancer, kidney cancer, breast cancer, bladder cancer, ovarian cancer, prostate, cervical, lung, leukemia, non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, liver disease, miscarriages, birth defects, cleft palate, heart defects. I can't even pronounce that. Neural tube defects, low birth weight, and small for gestational age, etc. Unfortunately, many of these families still have not been notified of the danger from the exposure. Like I said, you know, it's just now, this is the first I've heard about it, actually. So, but there, you know, that's where it is. I should have pulled up. Well, you know, Camp Lejeune. I think most people know where it is there. It's at the coast. So, there's the Marine Corps Air Station New River. It's a helicopter and tilt rotator base in Jacksonville. So used to be a tobacco farm. So that's interesting. I'll leave links to all this stuff, and there's about Camp Lejeune. Amphibious assault training is what they do a lot there. It's in Wilmington. We used to go to the beach there, near there. So I think we probably went by there a few times when I was a kid. So anyway, I found this while I was looking. This was from 2009. It's about remember the Fort Hood shooting by this guy. This guy, a psychiatrist, tried to prevent Fort Hood style violence among Marines about to loses his job. So let's see. They had a shooting there at that base, right at the same time that happened too at Camp Lejeune and Fort Hood. So, but only one got killed at Lejeune, I believe. Here it said, that's all it said here. See there. See it says here, coincidentally or not, within 12 hours of Hassan's shooting spree, Camp Lejeune officials discovered the body of one Marine and took into custody another Marine who was accused of killing his colleague. Who had served 7 months tour in Iraq and was suffering from self-inflicted wounds when arrested. So they knew, they know how this shit affects these guys, and they let this shit happen. So, on purpose. Let's see, there's about that. I'll leave the links to this stuff. But, I found this about that guy, this documentary. This is from last year. This guy, Nader Hassan, he lives in Virginia, said he and that guy were like brothers, and they grew up together. He never saw any signals that he would commit such violence. He refused to break up fights involving the cousins, and as an adult, his discomfort at the sight of blood was one of the reasons he went to psychiatry after med school, but he never saw it coming. But in hindsight, he said there were clues that because he lost both his parents in a short period of time, and he heard stories of possible war crimes from soldiers in his care at Walter Reed Army Medical Center, confessions his bosses told him to ignore, and he was so conflicted at the prospect of deploying to a combat zone, he had offered to repay his commission and leave the service. So he that either that drove him to do it, or it was MK Ultra, so either way they knew about this stuff, and they let it happen. So here's, I had to go back to the Wayback Machine for that one of these links in here, but it's all this stuff. They deny that combat stress causes homicide. Let's see here. There's a few articles here you could look at. And this guy here, he had PTSD, and they sent him back anyway to Afghanistan. And there's another, after a soldier taped a psychologist saying he'd been pressured not to diagnose PTSD, the Army launched an investigation. Read the details of how the Army declared itself innocent. That happens even, with the police too, all these fuckers, they investigate themselves. So, so that's all of that, and here's the PDF of that there, and here's that other one I was looking at. Put below there when I'm done here. So shit. Yeah, I know. That's crazy. Since 1953, like I said, I ran into a lady in town that had the bladder cancer, and I bet you she, was affected by that too. That was the cause of it, So, oh wow, took less time than I thought there. Hello, I wasn't ignoring you. I was, I was on the other screens there. But yeah, they know this about the PTSD, and it causes when they come back from war. They know, and they let it happen, to justify some of this stuff that they do and these laws they pass, like the gun control stuff, and just taking more rights away from all of us, So, I mean, it's. I'm closing my tabs here. Sorry. I got all this saved. So, okay. But see, it's like I said yesterday. It's amazing what you find. Is looking like I was looking into that water thing and found all that other stuff about that. The PTSD and how they know. But they don't care because they use that to when something like that happens. They use it to justify all these laws they pass, to take away our rights. Like I said, they really don't care. They're doing this because of the public outcry about that. All these people. I mean, this man lost his daughter, and it's sad, that just people would just stop going into the military. They do. I mean, military industrial complex. It's. I can't even begin to. I mean, I understand why a lot of people do. Yeah, because my dad did. For his family, but he even seen when he came back from Iraq, the first desert storm there, whatever the fuck they call it now. Yeah, he even seen what was going on there. It's about total control, of the whole world, the resources and everything, I mean, in Vietnam, don't even get me started there, man. I mean, how many veterans were affected by the Agent Orange that they sprayed, and they knew it was toxic, and I mean, and then the Gulf War, we have that coming out about the vaccines that they gave them. They knew they were unsafe. They're all unsafe. So, they knew, and my dad was one affected by it. I mean, I can't prove it or anything because he never was diagnosed with it, but, he did suffer from it. I could tell because, when he came back, he was sicker. Well, he wasn't sick when he went, is what I mean. When he came back, like I said, more people need to be speaking out about this stuff. We're guinea pigs. They treat them like guinea pigs. These military people, and us too. you know, but them more than any of us, because, you know, they're, when you sign that contract with them, hey, you belong to them. I mean, you belong to them anyway by their standards, you know, a birth certificate thing, you know, but, you know, when you sign yourself over to the military, yeah, they can do whatever. You know, they experimented with LSD on them. You know, I knew someone who was affected by that. You know, he's not right, you know, but yeah, anything, they don't care, you know, and they just put on the illusion that they care. You know, they have to, because the people demand it, you know, they wouldn't otherwise, you know, so, it's just something personal to me there, that, because family members affected by that stuff, you know, and PTSD, you know, because you know, what got to my dad most was the Vietnam thing. You know, he would sit in about the things they had them do over there, you know, killing kids and babies and women and shit, you know, and he would sit in there and cry over it, you know, and say, you know, I don't deserve to have a family after what I've done, you know, and that's people don't, you know, if you don't join the military, just put that way, don't join the military, you know. I understand people that did, though, you know, so, but it's just, I mean, they've even tried to get me to join. They tried to get my kid in. And no, they don't care. You know, we're nothing to them. we're just what's the word? God, I can't even think straight. It makes me so mad. Meat for the grinder. There you go. That's the way they see us. You know, we're expendable. We're piss ants to them. You know, insignificant. What more can I say? You all know. But yes, they did it in Iraq also. Yes, Cracadilla. Yes, they did. They don't care. They don't care. I'm ranting today. I've seen that, and it just set me off there, because I'd met that woman in town and everything. I got to thinking about that and my dad and all these people that lived at that Army base, or Marine base, I'm sorry, around that area. You know, it makes me wonder, when we visited down there, you know, if we, you know, who knows, you know, I mean, water is contaminated everywhere. You know, look at Flint, Michigan. You know, they still don't have clean water. And do you think they care? You think the government cares? No, they don't. They don't care. So, but I've seen that about the pipeline too. You know, the rights to build the pipeline, Canadian company, the oil is going to a Canadian company and sent into China or something like that. But China owns the rights to that reservoir in question that feeds that water to the rivers and stuff there. Canada owns, a Canadian company owns the rights to that water. So I posted about it and stuff. You know, it's on my page in one of my collections. I can't even remember which one, but it's yeah. So you're not protecting water, people. It's all a psyop, you know, to get people used to seeing the military equipment, you know, rolling up and down your streets. It's going to be normal here in the next few years. People, oh, well, you know, tank going up the street, that's perfectly fucking normal. No, it's not. No, it's not, you know. And like, I remember Debbie saying they ain't got enough military to, you know, control us if we do. uprise against. That's why they're going to bring in the UN, all these the world police, whatever they call themselves, you know. So but still, yeah, I don't think there's enough of them, you know. But see, we got a lot of sheep here, you know. I mean, we're all sheep to a point, but some more than some just don't want to see the stuff, you know. And that's why we got to keep doing what we're doing here, you know, coming on here and speaking our mind, you know, about this stuff, you know, what they're doing to us, you know. I mean, just look what they did to the military people. They knew that water was contaminated. They knew these people were getting cancer and shit from that. They were waiting for them to fucking die off so they wouldn't have to pay off as many of them, you know. So, yes, that's right, Stephen. The United States has been a vehicle for the objectives of an elite for a long time. Ordinary American citizens are just more pawns. Yeah, we're all pawns. That's right. So, yeah, that's so true. But we're all pawns. No problem. Like they say that the grand chessboard, you know, check that out. That I'll probably post that after this. So I haven't posted it in a while. It's really interesting. The big new Agnew, however the hell you say his name, but you know, thanks. Yeah, like I said, I would have normally just done a video, but my screencast, it only get 15 minutes. So, and I knew I would rant about this, you know, because it's, when you have family that's been affected by this stuff, you know, it really, really hits home, you know. So, I mean, I have it like my cousin up here. He lost his wife. I don't think he lived. I mean, he wasn't in the Marines. I think he was in the Army and stuff. So, but anyways, man, did it only said that once. Okay, well, thanks y'all for joining me. Like I said, I didn't plan on doing this, but like I said, I knew I would rant about it a little bit, so I just went ahead and a live thing. But you know, we're pawns, like Steve said. We're all pawns, you know. So thanks for joining. Peace and love. See you. Love you. See you next time.